We're expecting a high around 85. There could be a scattered thunderstorm or shower today, so get ready for that. Certainly, we're going to get one of those this evening with a low of 67 degrees. 313-568-1200 is our number. In Dallas, Texas, we're talking with law professor Jessica Dixon Weaver, who has written a piece about police and what should happen to make them more sensitive or to give them a better understanding of how black people feel, why they feel that way, and what is the history that has brought us to where we are in these relationships with police across the country. Tell our listeners, Professor, how they can get to read the piece you wrote.
Well, the piece is published by The Root, and so if you just go onto The Root's website and put in a search for police training or slavery laws, it should pop up. You can also put in my name, Jessica Dixon Weaver, and The Root, which is what I did this morning on Google to find it, and it will be the first thing in your feed.
What kind of response have you received since you wrote this?
I have read positive response, actually. I've read a few of the comments. Because I read a lot of opinion editorials, and I realize there are a lot of trolls out there, I don't pay too much attention, but it's been positive. I think people, of course, people in the black community are like, yes, definitely, this is exactly what they need to know. But some of my former students, my white students, were excited to hear more and just said, we're still learning from you, Professor Weaver. This is definitely really educational. I think for the people who click onto the links that I embedded into the story, you can find the history of lynchings in America. You can see some of the slave laws, 1705 Virginia Slave Act, and also see a comparison between the justifications for homicide for slaves in Texas back in the 1800s, and then also what our justifications are now in our penal code. So you can look at the language and see how similar the language is with regard to how we justify homicide by police officers.
Professor Jessica Dixon Weaver, thank you for joining us here in Detroit. We'll keep looking for your work, okay?
Thank you so much for having me.
Not a problem at all. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've got a breaking story here. Congressman John Conyers leading a lawsuit being filed by 190 Democrats against the President of the United States. The Detroit Free Press is reporting that Conyers is among a group of Democratic leaders who filed suit against President Donald Trump today in federal court, accusing him of accepting foreign payments without the legislative consent required by the U.S. Constitution. Now, a lot of you know that Congressman Conyers has been a civil rights icon who's the longest-serving active member of Congress. He's joined by a lot of Congresspeople, and among those from Michigan, from the 14th Congressional District here in the Detroit metropolitan area, is Congresswoman Brenda Lawrence. Good morning, Congresswoman. This is historic.
Yes, it is, Mildred. I was calling in also. As you know, there's been a shooting in D.C. and a member of Congress, two members of Congress have been shot. We have a few of the Capitol Police have been shot and some staffers. Boats and activities on the Hill has been canceled today. So I was calling in the midst of everything else to let people know that, again, we're subjected to gun violence, and this time it's been targeted at members of Congress who were at a baseball diamond, just there for a baseball practice. We have this annual baseball game that we have where the Democrats play the Republicans. Huge game. We do it for charity, and we get bragging rights if the Democrats or the Republicans won. It's very sobering. I understand at least 6 people are in the hospital, and